Hey Horace, are you there? I just wanted to double check with you that you knew I was getting out of the hospital tomorrow afternoon. You are going to be able to come and pick me up then, right?
Hold on a second, you're getting out of the hospital tomorrow?
Yes, we talked about this earlier, didn't we? I'm sure that I told you about this.
Oh yeah, I think I remember you saying something about that. I guess I forgot. But I haven't asked for the time off of work to go and pick you up just yet, so...
So then you're telling me that you won't be able to come and get me tomorrow then, right?
I really am sorry about this. If I didn't have any plans for tomorrow afternoon already, then I would for sure. But I have a really important meeting with a client that I just can't afford to reschedule now.
I see. Well, okay then. I guess if that's the situation, I'll be sure to get an Uber home in that case.
Again, super duper sorry about all of this. It wasn't my intention at all. I've just been really busy lately, you know? But I want you to know that I did talk to my boss and convince him to go and give a week off to spend some time home with you and the baby, so that's good at least.
Well, I'm glad that you managed to get that at least. That is really going to be a huge help for me. But I just know that I'm going to be really busy getting used to taking care of a baby and all. So if while you're at home you could take care of the cleaning and the cooking, that would be amazing.
Honey, you have nothing to worry about at all. I don't mind doing the cooking if that's what you need.
Well, I did the cooking and cleaning, right? I need you to do both of them. Do you understand?
Right, I guess. I'm not good with a broom, but I'm gonna go and do my best, okay?
I'm sorry, I'm really not trying to be bossy or anything like that, but between feeding the baby and recovering after birth, I'm going to be pretty indisposed. I just really don't see how I'm going to be able to do the cleaning and cooking on top of everything else, you know?
Are you sure it wasn't a better idea for you to have gone home and had this baby at your parents' house?
Well, it's a bit late to think about doing that now, don't you think? Besides, you were the one who told me that you'd be lonely without me and asked me to stay.
Right, I guess I did ask you to do that for me, didn't I? But when you suggested going back home, I just got so panicked about it.
Well, don't worry. It's not like I feel like everything is already figured out right now. But that's why we're together. We're going to get through this as a couple and everything is going to be fine. We just need to open our lives to changing so that we can learn to be good parents.
Yeah, that makes sense, but you really think that things are gonna change all that much?
Maybe we should just talk about this at home. Are you going to be coming back at the usual time tomorrow?
Yes, don't worry. I'll be sure that I can get home as soon as I possibly can tomorrow.
Perfect. I really appreciate you saying that, Horace. I think we're going to have a lot to discuss then. That, and I have a lot to teach you, like how to change a diaper for our baby.
I see. Is there anything else that I might need to know or be ready for tomorrow?
Actually, since you offered, make sure that we have enough blankets for the baby and go ahead and set up the bed as well.
Alright, well, about that. I kinda have some plans tonight after I get back from work is the thing.
Wow, you really are busy, aren't you? I mean, you've only ever come to see me once in the hospital as far as I remember.
I know, I really am sorry for everything going on, but I promise to do my best for you and the baby when I'm back home next week.
I really do hope so, Horace. I'm really going to need the help. But anyways, I think it's feeding time for the little one. Good luck with the rest of your work. We'll talk soon.
Sounds good. I hope that you have a good day as well. I'll make sure to try and clean up around the house a little before you two arrive, okay?
That would be just great. Thank you so much. I know that you're tired from work after getting home, so I really am thankful. Horace, are you still at work? When are you going to come home? Where are you?
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. I just got called in last second for some overtime, so I haven't left yet.
I see. Well, our baby is really keeping me tied down here, so do you think next time you could put us before your job?
Well, I'm sorry, but I don't really have that much of a choice. We're really short-staffed here, you know.
I know that, and I appreciate you wanting to help out more there, but I need help here, too. And ever since you took that week off work to be with us, you really haven't done much around here.
And I've told you that that's because I'm busy at work and I'm tired when I come back home. But I am doing my best, and that should be enough.
Horace, I know how hard you're trying at work, and I really do notice that. But then when you do finally come back home, you just end up going straight to bed.
Oh, I see. So now I'm not even gonna get allowed to sleep without your permission first, huh?
You really don't think that I wish I could be taking more naps at home or going to bed earlier? I'm up all day, just like you.
Oh, don't even compare our situations. You're just sitting around at home all day doing nothing. I'm the one who has to work all day at the office and then deal with you nagging me at home. Do you actually think you have it worse than I do?
I don't think it's about who has it worse. It's just that we should both be trying to help each other out.
Well, how am I supposed to be of any help to anyone when that brat is constantly keeping me up all night when it's constantly crying? Do you have any idea how obnoxious that is for me? I've even started screwing up my tasks at work because I'm so tired.
Well, I'm the one that gets up to put the baby back to sleep. I don't get enough rest either.
Well, you really ought to be getting up faster and putting the baby back to sleep more quickly.
So you're really just going to try and put all of this on me? I don't even know what to say. You do realize this is my first child, don't you? I'm learning on the job, but it's going to take time.
Well, just how much more time is it gonna take, huh? You've had the baby for over a month now. I think it's high time that you figured out what you're doing.
I might be able to learn a little better if I had you at home helping me. You know I haven't even showered this week because you haven't been watching the baby at all. I'm not trying to overload you with things to do, but I really want you to spend more time at home and more time with our baby.
Why don't you just go back and stay with your parents for a while, huh?
You really want me to just go and live with my parents like this?
Well, it's clear that you can't handle this baby on your own and you need more help.
But that's what I suggested, and you were the one who asked me to stay at home for your sake. If you're telling me to go to my parents' house, then at least take some responsibility for this.
Yeah, sure, I was the one who said I didn't want you to go back home, but in the end, you were the one that listened to me, weren't you?
Because I thought that we were going to be able to do this together. You promised me that you'd help. That's the only reason why I didn't go back to be with my parents for this.
Look, I've got a lot of work that I have to do day in and day out, and sometimes there's gonna be times when I can't keep my word, okay? But do you think that you're the only woman in the world whose husband is busy with work? Don't you know there are single mothers out there? If you ask me, it seems like you have things way too easy.
Oh, really? Because you're the only person I know who has told me that I have things easy with our baby.
Well, maybe it's time you actually get some more honest friends because I'm just trying to tell you the truth right now. There are plenty of single parents out there who watch their children just fine. So don't try and force me to do what you should have already been perfectly capable of doing. You just need to be a better other.
Horace, what happened to you? You were so happy for us both when we found out I was pregnant. Don't you want to spend more time with your daughter? Don't you want Lily to grow up knowing her dad?
Just because I'm not in her life as much doesn't mean that she won't know me, but work has to come first and then child rearing second.
How can you do that? How can you just compartmentalize your life and then put your own child second?
But I wouldn't expect you to understand. But I know this in my heart that I am doing all this for you and Lily. But you need to realize too that I'm the one who's keeping the roof over our heads. So why don't you just keep your eyes opened, realize what's going on around here, and then let me rest after I come back home from a long day in the office. Is that really so hard for you to get?
Yes, I understand, Horace. I don't want to talk about this any longer, okay?
Oh, come on, you can't just walk away now as if you weren't the one who started this all in the first place.
I'm sorry, okay? I didn't mean to start a fight, and I promise that I'll do better from here on out.
Oh, really? Because it sounds to me like you're just saying whatever it takes to end this. But we are not through talking about this until I say we are. And you really need to open up your eyes and realize just how easy you have it. And the moment you do that, we might actually be able to make some progress here.
Horace, why in the world are you going out at a time like this? Where did you even go? Are you going to your mom's house or something like that? Please respond to me.
I don't care where I'm going, I just can't stand being at home with that crying little brat any longer. I can't sleep at all, and I'm gonna find a place where I can lay my head in peace.
Please don't talk about our daughter like that. You know you can't blame her for this. She's just a baby. She doesn't know any better. The only way she knows how to communicate is by crying.
Well, I'm saying that the baby cries too dang much. I think that you're raising her wrong. Why else would she be crying that much, huh?
You don't really think that, do you? Just what is wrong with how I raise our daughter? Just please come back home. Can't we talk about this in person? You didn't have to leave, you know.
And just what is there to talk about with you, huh? Besides, if I do come back, I still won't be able to sleep.
I know, but I don't like this. I don't like you out of the house because of the baby. Please come back.
I'm telling you that me coming back isn't going to change anything. Don't you get that? I can't get any sleep done in that house, and that's why I won't be going back.
Do you really mean that? You're really not going to be coming back at all?
That's right, but don't worry, I'll keep on sending you the money and keeping up the payments on the house.
Oh, come on, Horace. You know that I want more from you than that. I want you to be here in the house with us.
No, please don't let me get in the way of you and the baby. It's clear that I'm just dead weight to you, so I'll just get out of your hair and let you concentrate on the baby.
Is that really why you left the house? Because you felt that way? Do you really want me to do this all on my own?
I don't even see the point in talking about this to you. It's just gonna turn into something else to fight about. All I wanted to do was to have a home where I could feel at ease.
Please, you have to know that I really am trying, but I just need some extra help now and then. Is that really so bad?
Now and then? You're always trying to order me around by using that baby as an excuse. I thought I told you that you need to open your eyes and realize just how easy you have it, baby or not.
Horace, you won't even agree to look after the baby for a single hour when I've asked you to. I don't think it's fair for you to be putting all of this on me.
Why? That's what you do to me, even though I'm always telling you how busy I am.
But I see you playing games on your phone at home all the time. Is that what you're busy with?
Oh my gosh, you happen to look over at me for the 15 seconds that I have a game open and suddenly you think it's all I do on my phone. You really are obnoxious. Do you know that? What's even the point of talking to me if this is all you have to say to me? You just tell that baby to grow up and quit crying. That's no way for a baby to be acting in the world. And I'm not going to come home until either you or Lily learns to control that crying.
Horace, are you there? I think you and I need to talk about some things. How soon can you and I talk in person?
Oh, this is just perfect. I was actually just thinking the same thing. You see, I've got a couple of things that you need to hear as well. Did you know that it's already been 3 months since I was last back home? I want to know, has the baby finally learned how to control her crying? Can I finally come back home to my own home and sleep in my own bed again?
I'm afraid there isn't any place for you to come back home to at this point.
What in the world are you talking about? Are you saying that you don't want me to come back home now? Because if not, then I have no idea why you're even bothering to contact me.
Well, this is precisely what I wanted to talk to you about.
So, you want to talk to me in person to tell me to not come back home? Unless, did you want to talk to me about getting a divorce?
Well, yes, that's basically it.
You mean you want to leave me and raise that baby all by yourself? Are you out of your mind?
I've been raising Lily all by myself this whole time anyways.
I know, but I'm not just talking about watching the baby. I mean having to do everything by yourself. Do you really think that you would even have the kind of money that it would take to raise a kid to adulthood? You're just a stay-at-home mom. How would you manage that?
Oh, I don't think I'll have to worry all that much about money. I'm already used to working a job and taking care of the baby. Not to mention all the child support that I'll be receiving from you as well. And that's to say nothing of the compensation from the lawsuit.
Lawsuit? What lawsuit? Who are you even gonna be suing?
Well, you, of course. After all, you have been cheating on me. Did you think I wasn't going to look into where you'd gone this whole time? I know you're at another woman's house, and you've been there for the past several months. You said you wanted to leave because you couldn't sleep, but you just wanted to get away and be with another woman.
Have you lost your mind or something? You don't really think that's what's going on here, do you?
Well, then tell me where you are. Where have you been staying this whole time?
I've just been couch surfing at different friends' houses, I swear. And some of them are married, so maybe you just saw me talking to one of their wives. I think you're blowing this whole thing out of proportion. You're making a huge mistake.
Oh, I really don't think that I am, though. I hired a private investigator to look into you, and they have proof.
Hold on a second. You paid someone to stalk me?
Well, I wasn't about to do all that work and take care of Lily now, was I? But I have more than enough proof to be able to divorce you.
Jane, please, you really do have this all wrong. I was never cheating on you at all, and that was just a woman that was a friend, I swear.
You know, the guy I hired specialized in cheating spouses. He has photos of you holding hands, kissing, all kinds of things. Are you sure you two are really just friends in spite of all that?
I promised you that her and I never did anything, and you have to believe me.
How can you say that when I'm telling you that I have evidence, photographic evidence? Why try and deny it? Not that it really matters to me. I'll just have to call your parents and show them all this instead.
Wait, no, please don't do that. Whatever you do, don't do that.
And why shouldn't I? Do you admit that I know what I'm looking at? That the evidence speaks for itself?
We might have hooked up once or twice, but it was never serious, okay? You have to believe me. Please, I don't want to fight about you with this. I thought that we both needed some time apart to think, you know?
I didn't ever ask for time apart. I asked you to be at home more often to help me out. You told me that you were too busy with work to help, but I now know that you were just out running around, weren't you? And don't bother lying to me. I know the truth, and I'll know if you aren't saying it.
Please, you really don't understand. It's not like that at all.
Well, you can tell all about exactly what it was like to my lawyer during the divorce proceedings. Horace still dragged his feet signing the divorce papers, so I finally had to bring my evidence to his parents. Once they realized what was happening, they insisted that he sign the papers as well. They had no idea all the horrible things that Horace had said to me or how he had neglected to do anything to help with raising our child. Horace was crying during the whole divorce process and was bawling in the courtroom on the day the verdict was handed down about his affair. He was forced to pay me for his affair and was made to pay child support as well. These days, Horace lives with his parents so that they can keep him on a short leash and make sure that he keeps up with his child support payments. As for me, I would say it hasn't been easy adjusting to the single-parent life, but that would be a lie since that's what I had been living until the divorce. Thankfully, my parents only live a few towns away, so I moved to be closer to them. They come over often to look over their granddaughter while I go to work or run errands. I never thought that my life would end up this way, but I am glad to know that I still had those around me I could turn to for support through all this. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Hey, Janet, are you there? I just wanted to let you know that I heard the big news from Dean. Are you really pregnant?
Hello, Lydia. Yes, it really is true. I was wondering when Dean was finally going to tell you. As of now, I'm about 3 months pregnant. I wasn't feeling good at all, so I went to the hospital and, well, I was quite surprised.
You mean you really had no idea at all that you were pregnant? I mean, didn't your period stop? Why didn't you think you might have been pregnant then?
Well, I've actually had a strange period all my life that's come and gone suddenly. So I just thought that it might have been acting up again, but I had no idea it was because I was really pregnant.
Oh, I see. So then you and Dean are going to be having a kid together. But you two weren't actually planning on having children this soon, isn't that right?
Well, yes, but we're just glad that we found out about this before we were knee-deep in wedding plans. So in a way, the timing really couldn't have been better. It was going to happen around this time.
But then, that means that you're really going to be having this kid before the two of you are married, right? Are you sure that's a good idea? I mean, aren't you worried about what people might be saying about you two if you go through with this?
Do you really think that people will really care all that much? I mean, I just can't think of anyone I know who would be scandalized by something like this, really.
Well, you're so young now, so maybe that's why you don't really care or understand about this. But back in my day, something like this would cause quite the scandal in town and have all of the neighbors talking. It would really hamper one's reputation, you know?
Oh, I see. Well, I guess it is funny to think about how quickly times can change then, huh?
I just really think that you two should have done a better job of being careful and planning this out better, don't you? I mean, don't you think this is all happening too fast? You won't even have time to enjoy the honeymoon phase of your marriage. You'll be too busy with a baby.
Well, yes, we do realize that this is going to change a lot about what we planned on doing, but we're still very much excited to be parents.
Well, sure, I understand that, but being a parent isn't always an easy, happy thing, you know? I mean, you can pretty much kiss your free time goodbye. And if you two wanted to have any time to spend with just each other as a married couple, do any kind of traveling or anything like that, well, that's just not going to happen now.
Again, we both realize this means there are going to be things that we will have to put off, but we also do want to be parents too. And yes, this is earlier than we were expecting, but it doesn't change how happy we are to know this.
Well, if you two really feel that way about this, then I guess that I'm happy for you both. But I'm also just a bit worried, as you might understand. I mean, you know that being pregnant messes with your hormonal balance, don't you? You start getting hypersensitive and lots of things change in your body. I would just hate for all that to lead to fights when you two aren't even married yet. Are you sure you're going to be okay?
Well, I really do appreciate the concern, Lydia, but the fact of the matter is that we'll just have to cross that bridge when we get to it. But I know that Dean is aware of all of that and that we're both prepared to go through whatever it takes to have this baby safely.
I see. So then you're really sure that you're going to keep it? You're really going to go through with this pregnancy?
Well, I've already told you that we want to keep the baby, so I'm really not sure what other choice there would be but to have it.
I'm just saying that if you told me that you wanted to wait just a little bit longer to have a kid and put it off.
I see. Well, again, I do appreciate the concern, but I think that Dean and I are in agreement that we'll be having this one.
You wouldn't hear any complaints from me. I see. Well, that is your choice. I'm sorry if I overstepped my bounds with what I was saying just then. Just, please, make sure to take care of yourself. And if there's anything I can do for you, please don't hesitate to ask.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for checking in on me, Lydia. Anyways, I'm going to go now.
Hey there, Janet. I was just curious. Are you home right now?
Oh, hello, Lydia. No, I'm not at home right now. I'm actually at the hospital getting a checkup.
Oh, shoot. Are you really? And here I was going to pop in for a visit, but I guess my timing was off this time. Do you have any idea around what time you'll be coming home?
Well, I just got there to the hospital, so I still have to check in and all of that. I can't really give you an estimate right now.
Oh, okay. No problem. In that case, I'll just drop off my things in front of your door.
Oh, did you bring something for Dean and I?
I did, yes. I brought some meat that I thought you two could keep in the freezer for when you needed it.
Oh, I see. But if it's meat, it's probably not best to just leave it outside for a long time, don't you think?
Well then, what should I do with this? Do you just want me to take this back with me and go home?
Well, I'm sure that Dean would have no problem stopping by your place later to pick it up. I'm really sorry that you came all this way, but if you wouldn't mind taking the meat with you, I think that would be best.
I see. So you're going to ask Dean to go and pick up this meat from me on his way home from work then? You know, I feel like lately you've basically just been using him like an errand boy and sending him out whenever you need something. I hope you're not just using your pregnancy as an excuse to try and boss my son around.
Oh, I didn't know you felt that way. If that's the case, then I can go and pick up the meat myself when I'm done here.
No, don't bother with that. I'm going to go and do some shopping myself right now anyways. I won't be back home until the evening, so I'd imagine that you'd already be done then.
Oh, okay then. Well, if that's really the case, then why don't you just leave the meat by my door and I'll try and get back home as soon as I can.
So you want me to leave the meat on your doorknob after all? Well, okay, that's no problem. And there really is nothing to worry about. Back in my day, we didn't even have freezers and would just leave meat out like this for hours. It was fine. Besides, the weather's already getting cooler, so I think it'll be just fine.
Right. Well, I certainly hope that you're right about that. But Lydia, I just think that you should know that I don't spend all that much time at home, and Dean does a good job cooking for me. So if it's so much trouble for you to come all the way to our place to drop off food, I just want you to know that you really don't have to.
Oh, come on. Are you really trying to tell me not to worry about you? This is my first grandchild that we're talking about here. I mean, of course I always thought that it would be my eldest child who would be giving me my first grandchild, but life is complicated, as I'm sure you're aware.
Well, I really do appreciate just how much you've been doing for Dean and I, but our freezer is quite full as it is with all of the food that you've brought us so far, so I really don't think we'll need any more for a while.
Really? Well, okay then. If that's the case, I guess I can just stop bringing food around then. Is that okay?
Yes, we really appreciate all the help, but I think that would be best for now.
Well, I certainly hope that I wasn't being bothersome in bringing you both all of that food.
No, of course it wasn't any kind of bother at all. It's just that you've done such a good job that we can hardly keep up with eating it all. And I would just hate for you to keep going out of your way to get us food when we can't even finish it all.
Oh well, I didn't even realize that I was bringing you so much food to begin with.
Well, it's just that I think some of the food you've bought isn't exactly ideal for a pregnant woman.
I guess I just wasn't aware of how careful you were being about what you were eating. But anyway, you just let me know if you need more of anything. I want to do whatever I can to try and support you having a healthy baby.
Thank you so much for being so understanding about this, Lydia. We really do appreciate it.
Of course. By the way, I wanted to ask you how you felt about going hiking with me sometime soon. I was thinking that we can go up into the mountains and hunt for some mushrooms. I think it would be a great way to get out of the house and get some fresh air.
You want to go hiking with me soon? You know that I'm already 9 months pregnant, right? That baby is going to be coming any week now, really.
Oh, don't be silly. Back in my day, all the pregnant women never let that stop them from going out into the mountains. You know, my ancestors used to live at the foot of the mountains, actually. And I remember my mother being pregnant with my siblings and still going out to look for mushrooms and other wild vegetables.
I see. Well, I guess that I'm just a bit worried about going up and doing something like that when I'm already so big.
Oh, but there's nothing for you to worry about at all. You really just have to sit in the car and keep me company, you know? I just get a bit nervous going out to the mountains and doing this kind of picking by myself. It would just be nice to know that I have someone nearby in case anything happens. I mean, you may be pregnant, but us old people have plenty to worry about as well.
Well, okay, if you really mean that, I guess going along for the ride should be okay. But just know that I will have to make a lot of bathroom breaks given my condition. So I guess as long as we're not away for too long, then I suppose I would be okay with this.
Perfect. I'm so happy to hear it. I think the whole thing shouldn't take more than a couple of hours. And in the meantime, we'll go to get out in nature and out of the city.
Yeah, that might actually be nice now that you mention it. Okay then, I'm willing to go with you, but I really don't want to have to get out of the car while we're there. So if you can agree with me on that, then I think we have a deal.
Oh, of course, dear. You won't have to set out foot on the car if you don't want to. You have my word. I'll be in touch soon with more details, okay?
Hey, Lydia, where are you? I don't see the car anywhere. Did something happen? Please get back to me as soon as you can.
Oh dear, I've already gone back down the mountain.
Wait, what? I don't understand. You went down the mountain by yourself? Without me?
That's exactly what I did, dear. I mean, the sun is going to be setting soon. I couldn't spend all day up there. But if I were, I would start heading back down too. After all, you don't want to catch a cold.
You expect me to be able to get down the mountain by myself like this? I don't understand. What is going on here? Don't you know that I am pregnant right now?
Well, that's exactly why I left you up there. Don't you get that?
No, I don't get it. What on earth are you even talking about?
Well, the thing is that I've noticed you really have put on some weight during this pregnancy. And I just thought it might do you some good to get some exercise is all.
Lydia, I really don't know what to say, but you do realize I could be giving birth any day now, right? I thought I already told you that I wasn't feeling great physically and that's why I didn't want to get out of the car. But you were the one who told me to go into the forest. You texted me that you had twisted your ankle, and that's why I got out of the car.
Oh, yes. Well, I suppose the little spill I took wasn't actually as bad as it looked. But anyways, you'll be fine. The mountain isn't that high up, and the nearest town is just a little walk away.
A little walk? Lydia, it's going to take me hours to get back down. Please, why are you doing this to me? You know that Dean is away on a business trip right now.
Well, I think it's perfect, really. Now you have no one willing to spoil you and obey your every command. You're going to have to figure this one out on your own.
I don't believe it. What is the matter with you? I thought that you were finally in support of Dean and I having this child. Although I thought it was strange that so many of the foods that you were bringing over were foods that pregnant women really shouldn't be eating. At first I didn't think anything of it, but now that you've done this, I don't think that you've ever really been in support of this baby at all.
What in the world are you talking about? Don't you realize that I'm doing all of this for you?
Making me walk down a dark mountain while pregnant is all for my sake? Do you really think I'm going to buy that?
Well, you're going to be giving birth soon. I just thought I would help you build up some muscle beforehand. You really are so quick to accuse everyone of being against you. Do you realize that? You should be more grateful to me. But how about you quit wasting daylight and get moving down the mountain instead?
Lydia, you and I need to have a little chat.
Oh my, Janet. Did you finally make it down the mountain?
Yes, I did, no thanks to you.
I see. I didn't actually think you'd be able to personally. And what about your baby? Was it okay? No problems with it on the way down?
As disappointed as you'll be to hear, there was no issue with the baby at all, and everything was safe.
Oh, come now. How can you say that? You can't honestly think I was hoping someone would be hurt by all of this. I'm telling you, I was just trying to give you a chance to get some exercise before you give birth is all.
I have tried being patient with you, but I have reached my limit. I never ever want to see you again.
You never want to see me again? How can you say that to your own mother-in-law? What's the matter with you?
You don't get what the big deal is? Are you really going to pretend like what you did to me yesterday was for my benefit?
Okay, I really am sorry about yesterday, but you have to understand that I was really thinking of you, even if I overdid it.
You abandoned me at the top of that mountain because you hoped that the hike down would cause something to go wrong with my pregnancy, didn't you?
Of course not. How could you even say something like that? You don't really feel that way, do you?
I really didn't understand. I thought that I had done something to upset you or make you hate me. But this was never about me at all, was it? Your target was always my baby. You wanted something bad to happen to it.
Are you even reading what you're sending to me right now? You sound absolutely ridiculous.
But I want to know why you did this. Was it really because we were going to have a child before your eldest daughter? Because I thought that you knew her and her husband were undergoing fertility treatments right now.
Wait, what? How did you know that? Who did you hear that from?
I heard it from your own daughter, Lydia. In fact, she was the one who helped me get down the mountain last night.
I don't understand. Why would she help you get down the mountain? It doesn't make sense.
Are you kidding me? What doesn't make sense is why someone would leave a pregnant woman all alone on top of a dark mountain. But Dean reached out to his sister and asked her to come and help me get down. For some reason, I had enough cell phone service to keep texting you and my husband, and that was it. And when she did get up to get me, I was so grateful to her that I started crying, and she started crying too and apologized to me about what you had done. In fact, she blamed herself and said she was sure it was because she couldn't get pregnant herself.
But that's not true. The two things having nothing to do with each other at all.
Then why did you do this to me? And why are you always messaging Tiffany demanding that she get pregnant? You took out your frustration with your daughter on me, and you couldn't stand the fact that I was pregnant first. Why couldn't you just be happy that you were getting a grandchild and leave it at that?
Now, let's just calm down. It's clear there's been some kind of mistake here. I've always had your best interest at heart.
Oh, please, you really think I believe that? You left me on top of a mountain to fend for myself. Well, now, Dean, Tiffany, and I all want nothing to do with you ever again. We are going to cut you out of our lives.
Now, wait just a second here. Let's not overreact here. I may have overdone it just a bit, but that's a bit drastic, don't you think?
Of course it's not drastic. You've been making all of our lives miserable and literally put mine in danger.
Okay, I screwed up. But you all can't just abandon me like this.
Nothing is ever going to allow me to forgive you for what you've done, Lydia. Your son and I have barely even been married, and you went and did this?
Please, I really am sorry. I didn't realize I was upsetting everyone so badly. I didn't know you all would react this way.
Just save it. Nothing you say is going to make us change our minds, and apologizing is not going to fix this. Now goodbye, and never ever try and interfere in Dean or my own life again, or else there will be consequences, got it? I won't be afraid to press charges for what you did to me. After that, Lydia began blowing up all of our phones, begging us not to leave her. But while we were all ignoring her, apparently even her own husband was considering divorcing her. Instead, he stuck with her in order to keep an eye on her. Ever since then, Lydia's been a homebody, only leaving the house to go out and do the shopping. Dean, Tiffany, and I kept our promise not to interact with her, and she never got to meet her first grandchild. It was sad to have things go the way they did with my mother-in-law, but I knew that my baby would never be safe around her. As you can infer, I had my baby and he was a healthy boy. I even got a letter congratulating me from Tiffany. It's painful when family hurts you, but it made me happy to know that I had other family around me whom I could count on. I only hope that one day, maybe years from now, Lydia will have finally calmed down to the point that I can finally introduce my son to her. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Christian, make sure to come home from work today.
Huh? Why?
I have something I'd really like to talk to you about.
You wanna talk? I've got a drinking party tonight, so it's not gonna be possible.
Then, when you're back from that party, let's both talk a little.
No way! After the drinking party, I'm definitely gonna be sleepy. When I get home, I wanna go straight to bed.
But I have something really important to us to tell you about.
What could it possibly be? Do you really have something so important to tell me that you would stop me from sleeping? Just tell me right now if it's that important.
What? Right now?
Come on now, just tell me already.
I don't really feel like it's personal enough to tell you through text, but, well, I guess it'll have to do. Well, Christian, I've become pregnant.
What? Huh? You're pregnant?
Yeah. Recently I've been feeling a little bit off. And so I went out and bought myself a pregnancy test, just to be on the safe side. And when I took it, it showed that I was positive.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I even went to the woman's clinic right after to have the doctor make sure of it, and he said the same thing.
You're lying? If you start to bring a child into our life now, that means next year the cost of living for us is really gonna go up. Did you know that?
Huh? Well, yeah, but you're right. I think we'll start having to spend a bit more money on things. We'll need to start buying things in preparation for the baby as well, I'm assuming.
Could you just stop for a second?
What's up?
I wasn't really thinking we needed a child quite yet, though.
What do you mean? Are you not happy that I become pregnant with our first child?
I'm telling you that right now, the timing for a child is not good. With the kind of plan I have, I was hoping for another 3 years or so before we tried for a baby.
What plan is that you have? I never heard anything about it from you.
When you have your first child, you gotta be home more often, a lot more, and it restricts what you can do outside the house, right? As of right now, I really want to be out of the house working, and I have really wanted to spend at least a few more years making bank before bringing another life into our world. And yet you went ahead and made a thoughtless move by getting yourself pregnant. You are an idiot.
The fact that I'm pregnant right now doesn't have to do only with the choices I've made. Had you really not wanted for me to get pregnant right now, then why did you never wear a condom or anything like that? I'm not the only one you can be blaming for not thinking things through before acting. You are just as much to blame for this.
And I was under the impression that you've been on birth control and that there was no chance that you would get pregnant. If you could just look around and see that right now is not the time to be pregnant, you would understand how I feel, right?
Huh? Why are you saying things like that to make yourself look as though you did nothing wrong? I have no idea why you are that upset over this when you're just as much to blame as I am for this baby.
I'm mad at you because you don't have a brain in that head of yours, and you weren't thinking enough about our future together. This is the reason why I hate people that don't plan things out.
Well, if you wanted me to know the plan, then you should have told me about it sooner than today. Then I would have tried a whole lot harder to not get myself pregnant. Telling me all this now in that tone is just making me distressed.
Yeah, I get it now. But I'm just as distressed as you are.
Well, for the time being, there is no changing the fact that I'm pregnant. And that also means that this kid I'm carrying is not to blame whatsoever.
That's true. The only one to blame is the idiot on the other end of this phone.
You are not going to start hating me because of this baby, right? You're still going to love this baby, whether you're happy with me or not, right? You're not going to say things to them like you'd be happier if they weren't born, right?
That and this are two completely different topics.
Thank goodness. I'm sure that this has put a huge hole in that plan of yours, Christian. But we can still do our best to raise this baby.
But I don't think I'm ever gonna forget how you ruined this whole plan I had for us. I don't think I'll ever be able to trust someone like you ever again.
I see. I understand. But if you have anything you'd like to say to me regarding this, then you better tell me right away. If you don't let me know of other plans you have, or how you're feeling, then things like this could happen again to us.
Alright, when I get back from work, I'm gonna tell you everything about what I want from my life. And you had better not fall asleep before I get home. I'm already pissed off with you enough as it is, and you doing that would only further my hatred for you. Something came in the mail for you today, Mariana. What the heck is this?
Those are sheets for the baby that arrived. I know it's a little early, but some of my family sent them to me. They don't need them anymore, so they wanted for us to have them. It would be too expensive to have to buy everything, right?
Is that what this is? Are you not gonna be getting anything else for the baby?
I actually wanted to get a stroller for the baby from my family as well. One of my family members still has one, but the tires on it are all broken, so they had to toss it. So I just decided that we'll have to go out and buy one instead.
Having to buy a lot of things for the baby is gonna drive me a bit nuts. According to my plan this year, I would have been able to save another $5,000 or so for my future. But if we have to keep on spending this kind of money on the baby, then I'll never be able to spend that much. It's all because of you that my life's plan has completely gone to waste.
And I've apologized to you for that plenty of times now. I'm trying my best to keep working right up to having this baby, in order to have as much money as possible for when they come.
And since this is all you're doing, I want you to promise me that you'll work right up to the very last day you can stand on both your legs before having that baby. Had you followed that plan I had before, you would never have had to work while being pregnant and could have stayed at home all day while I worked.
I still think it's a bit odd of you to blame me still for all that's happened. I don't even remember you ever having these kinds of plans before when we just got married. At least, I never heard anything about them from you.
I changed after marrying you, all thanks to Mr. Connors.
Isn't Mr. Connors your current CEO?
Have you not ever seen Mr. Connors' social media or anything like that before? He has thousands upon thousands of followers on all his accounts.
Really? That's amazing of him. Is he like some kind of influencer then?
Mr. Connors is a really influential business owner. It's insane for someone in their 40s to already have their company looking as amazing as his. He's got a lot of seminars all the time where he explains his logic, and even has books talking about how to get where he is at. In other words, he's my favorite man to read about.
Is that so?
And from what Mr. Connors has talked about, his most important thing is to make sure you have a plan set for the rest of your life. He said that planning things out financially for the future isn't something that only businesses do to make sure they're successful, but something that people have to do for themselves as well.
And so that's why you decided to start planning things out more around your life, right? You've been influenced by a successful CEO.
I want to make sure that things for me in the future are perfect, and that means taking the least troublesome paths. Our lives are short, so it all has to be done in the most effective manner in order for us to get the most from it. And I feel like if I do the same exact thing that Mr. Connors does for his own life, then I might be able to close my success over to him someday. I want to become like him when I become 40 years old, you know?
You've been trying to plan out your life just like Mr. Connors has been? Are you sure that's okay for you?
What do you mean by that?
Well, have you been doing the same things as him? Like timing out when to have kids? Like, are you trying to be the exact same person as he is? And when did he have his kids?
He said that he had his own kids 2 years ago. It seems to him like the most important thing to do in your 30s is work, work, work. And once you're in your 40s, you can relax a little and then have some kids. He wanted to be able to make sure he was financially sound in his 30s, and so that in his 40s he would never have to expose his kids to any form of poverty. He's an amazing man, right? Knows all the right things to do.
Then that must mean his wife is in her 40s now as well, right? It must have really been hard on her health having kids at that age, right?
Nah, his wife's only in her 20s right now. They've got an age gap of around 13 years, I believe.
Wait, does all of that not seem a little bit strange to you?
What's so strange about it? I don't see a single thing wrong with what he's done.
You wanted to have kids when you started to enter your 40s?
That's right.
Well, when you enter your 40s, then I'd also be entering my 40s, right? Having to be that age and have kids would be a terrible thing for my health and could lead to all sorts of complications for me. The only reason Mr. Connors has been able to have kids in his 40s is because his wife is almost half his age now.
I mean, when you're in your 40s or your 50s, you can still make kids as a woman, right? And it's not like our healthcare is really bad in the US where they just let you die because you were unwell during the process. There have been plenty of people in the world who have babies when they're past the age of 40.
And I'm sure there are some people. But as a woman gets older and older, the risk of suffering some kind of adverse effect from the pregnancy grows. You and Mr. Connors both live in completely different worlds from one another right now, so I don't think his plan is going to work for you. I really think you need to rethink things when it comes to wanting to follow his life plans exactly.
Stop trying to talk to me like you understand anything. What I'm trying to tell you is that you better try harder to not get sick when you turn 40.
Do not say things like that to me.
You already ruined all my plans, and now you're gonna start talking to me like I have no clue what I'm doing?
Well, your plan for your life is just a copy of what someone else is doing, right? Really, you should be the one putting some thought into it and making an original plan for yourself.
Oh, I've been putting loads of thought into my plan, Mariana. I've been thinking about it for so much further longer than you have, so shut it. I've been putting a lot of time into making sure that things end up for me the way they did with him, and that has taken a lot of thinking on my end. So quit it with all these complaints when you have done squat to help me with my plans. You are just an amateur when it comes to this world, so shut your mouth.
But you seem to be trying really hard to make sure everything goes according to that plan, right? Are you sure you're not putting too much of your thought and time into that plan, when you could be putting it all towards something more attuned to yourself? If you continue with the same plan Mr. Connors has, then you're saying you're totally fine with me being at risk come my 40s. You don't care what happens to the babies and I?
You're just an idiot who has no idea what you're talking about. As long as I stick to this plan, everything will go perfectly for me.
You can't be sure of that though, right?
You're really getting on my nerves. All you seem to be for me is a roadblock.
A roadblock?
I just want you to shut up and do as I say, alright? But you went ahead and got pregnant with that brat now, and he's gonna put a huge dent in what's supposed to be perfect. So if you do anything else to piss me off any more than I already am, I'm gonna throw that baby away.
You do not say that to your pregnant wife. Acting like the baby and I are just items to you? Are you not happy that you and I were able to make a baby together?
I don't think so. It was not part of the plan I had for my life anyway, so there's no way I'm gonna be responsible for caring for it. All it is a waste of my money and time.
You're awful. Saying all that because things didn't go exactly as Mr. Connors had planned? You cannot speak of your child like that when this is not their fault.
This month, I'm having to pay another 50% more on this credit card than I had to last month. Is it really costing you this much money just to get ready for a kid? This is exactly the reason why I didn't want us having kids yet.
Is that something a father says about their baby?
Well, this is all your fault. Don't get yourself pregnant without asking me first. My whole life's plan is gonna be completely ruined because of you and that kid.
This is your life's plan? You stop all that right now. All you've been doing is copying everything I've done to try to be half as good as me. You're fired from my company, and I want you to go back to square one.
Huh? Hold on, who is this? It's not my wife that I'm talking to?
My name is Franklin Connors. You should be able to know your own CEO's name, correct?
Is that really you? There's no way in hell you're my CEO. Why would my CEO be using my wife's phone anyway to talk to me?
It's because I'm with your wife right now. Your manager is Robert, right? I'll let him know that you are to be fired the second you're back at the office.
What? Are you really saying that my CEO is on the other end of this phone?
I already told you I am. So please stop trying to get me to repeat the exact same things to you. It's inefficient.
I'm so very sorry for questioning you, sir. But please, why are you with my wife at this very moment?
I'll have your wife explain that one to you later on. I do not want to waste all my day talking to a pathetic waste like you, so I'll get right to the point. I don't need you working at this company, someone that sees his wife and soon-to-be birthed baby as only items. I'm gonna have you off my payroll very soon.
Please, hold on just a moment. I am a huge fan of you and your life, sir. I really just wanted to end up like you as a person, and I've seen hundreds of your seminars already. There's not another man in this company that loves you and your life as much as I do.
And those that are important to my company are not people that love me and just want to be like me. I need people in my company that are good people who know how to think for themselves. If you really have been coming to all my seminars, then you should be aware that I really care about my family a lot, right?
Yes, I do.
But you've been ruthlessly forward to your wife and saying horrible things to her, and it's broken her heart. You're even talking about how you don't want the baby she's carrying for you. I don't want to hear it from you when you say things like that to your own family. Do you have a heart buried in that chest of yours?
I just happened to say things like that in the moment. Look, I really wasn't trying to say all those mean things to her.
Someone as selfish as you will never be able to be successful in this world, and you'll not be able to move up in any of our companies, that's for sure. I'm not even gonna let you say that you're part of my company anymore.
Please, don't say things like that. I really did want to become like you all my life, Mr. Connors, and I've done everything to follow in your footsteps.
So even after all I've said to you, you're still saying that you haven't heard any of it? Well, I guess that would be the case since you don't even follow what I've said in all my seminars, that all you are is fake, trying to be someone that you're not, which might look okay from the outside, but within yourself there is nothing. If you really want to become like me, a proper man, then you gotta cut the copying crap and start making life decisions yourself.
I'll try even harder, okay? So please, just don't fire me from your company.
I'm sorry, but I can no longer have any exceptions for you in the company. Goodbye, Christian. I hope you find yourself another job for yourself somewhere else.
Sir, please, listen to me.
Mr. Connors has told me he has to get back to work now.
What the hell is going on here? What do you think you're doing?
I'd been talking with Mr. Connors about you and what you've been doing. I told him that you're like some kind of creepy follower to him. And then I explained to him that you were using him as an excuse for allowing yourself to make horrible comments towards me and the baby. Then I finished by asking him to please help me, and it seems that he went ahead and read all those messages I sent to him about us. He told me that he felt really sorry for me, and that he wanted to sit down together and talk things over about what's been going on with you.
It's all your fault that he's threatening to fire me from my job now. Why are you doing this to me? Now even Connors is gonna start hating me, his biggest fan. I'm gonna be destroyed.
It's not just that he hates you, Christian, but I think he no longer sees you as even being human. I think things from now on are going to be a lot more difficult for you.
How much longer are you gonna be staying at your parents' place? I want you to come back home right now.
I'm not going back there. I'm going to stay with my parents and have my baby here. I'm having our divorce papers sent to you, so make sure you sign all your parts, please. I'll be getting a settlement from you.
Why do you want a settlement from me now? You think I'll pay that?
The reason for me wanting to leave you is because you verbally assaulted me. Even Mr. Connor said it was a good idea to get a settlement from you after what you've done to me.
He said that to you?
And as a show of his apologies to me, he introduced me to a very good lawyer to help me win this divorce case. If so, I need his strength. Mr. Connors is a wonderful man, and I wish I could have married someone like him. He has helped me out so much, all in just one sitting.
Why is Mr. Connors being an ally to someone like you? I've been the one who was always hoping to become someone like him, and I've been his biggest fan. I'm the one who knows a whole lot more about him in his life, and I should be the one that he wants to help.
And so what, Christian? You call yourself his biggest fan, but you have not listened to a word he said to you at those seminars. He even told you that himself, didn't he? He said you cannot be copying his life's plans and should be thinking of a plan that'll help yourself and your family. Just like I had told you a while back.
What the hell did you tell him about me to make him hate me so much? What could you have said to make him think that he could become that angry with his biggest fan? I tried to apologize to him just the other day at the office, but he still stood up and began to tear me a new one.
I only told him the things you had been doing and saying to me. You just happened to be a total prick to me all the time, and that was not going to fly in Mr. Connor's eyes. I even told him about what you were saying about our baby. But when you said that to me while he was looking at the phone himself, he lost all words to say. He just then muttered that you are a completely hopeless little boy, and then took my phone from me to start texting with you.
Please, can't you get him to stop hating me? Tell him that you and I had just been in a fight and that you made me say all the things that like that to you. If you don't help me fix this, I really will be fired.
I'm not going to change how you look to him.
I had made all these plans for myself to have our family be happy forever. I'll apologize for being a little bit too strict about it. I'm sorry, okay?
Well, Christian, I also started to make a plan for myself. And a part of that plan is not having you in my life anymore. And even Mr. Connors thinks that's a good idea, since he's getting rid of you from his company as well. So, for the sake of both the company's plan and my own plan, get the hell away from us.
I don't want to. Stop trying to act like I'm the one that caused all this to happen. I'm telling you that from now on, I'll do better at work, as a father and as a husband.
There's no way that's true.
Just like he told me, I'm gonna start thinking for myself a bit more. So please, just put me back into your life's plan so we can be together forever. I won't make you regret it this time.
Nope, it's all over for you now. I have to make sure I go with a plan that doesn't involve you ruining not only my own life, but the life of my baby as well. And that's why, as a part of my plan, you are to never be in my life again. Take that empty head of yours and go somewhere else where people plan on having you around. After that, Christian tried again and again to apologize to his CEO about what had happened, but no matter how hard he tried, Mr. Connors was not changing his mind. And in the end, Christian ended up losing his job for good. It seems that after that day, his pride took a nosedive, and he no longer had it in him anymore to accept what had happened. He started to go around saying that he chose to leave that company, but since nobody would listen to him, he started to realize he was ruined for good, and then moved back to his parents' house where he's locked himself inside. After that, he stayed in his room all the time and used whatever money he did have to start messing around with stocks. His last-ditch effort was to try and make it big through the stock market, but after putting a lot of money into all the wrong places, he lost whatever saving he'd had left. With no money to his name anymore, he began to totally rely on his parents to care for him for a little while. But after that little while had passed, his parents grew very tired of having to baby him and kicked him out of their house. He left their house without even one complaint, and now nobody really knows about what's happened to him. As for myself, I happened to give a healthy birth, and my baby turned out to be a boy. I also had myself read one of those books by Mr. Connors about his life, and started to think of some things for myself based off his life. I can see by just how amazing this book was that one would really start to like someone like Mr. Connors a lot. But I'm only going to respect his life, and will never copy his life's plan one for one like Christian did. Everyone has to know that you will not have the exact same life as someone else has, and that you should never do the exact same things they do. But of course, people like Christian are not aware of that, or at least weren't, and thought they could get away with trying to copy another person completely. Well, I'm going to make sure I'm never like Christian, and will only use other people's lives as a way of thinking up new ideas for my own life, and then acting on those. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Mom, there's something I'd like to talk with you about. Are you able to chat now?
Sure. What do you want to talk about?
It's something that's a little difficult for me to ask, so I'd like you to listen to me without getting mad at me.
What have you done this time that has you asking me something like that? You're not here asking me for more money again, right?
Well, I might actually be here for that, yeah.
What? You really want to talk with me about money again? What is going on with you, Jordan?
Right now, paying for the house and everything is really tough for us. I'm really sorry to have to ask you this again, but could you please help me out a little bit more financially?
You're having trouble paying for things around the house? You are making a decent wage right now, correct? Did something happen to you that might have put your pay in jeopardy?
Well, recently there's been a lot more expenses in my life. Also, the market has really been bad recently, so the money I'm making isn't enough to pay for the growing prices. Even the bonus that I usually get has gone away. I'm already working a second job on the side during my days off to try and make up for that. But even with that, I'm not making near enough to make meets end.
My, is that right? You really have been going through a lot then this time.
Inflation has also been a huge problem for me, right? Also, taxes have gone up for people like me. And worst of all, we have a child here that we have to pay for.
But May is also working a job along with you, right? Even with the two of you working, you're still not bringing in enough money?
She has to spend a lot of time with the kids, so she doesn't have time to work every day. She might be in elementary school now, but it's still taking a lot of effort to raise her.
I see. May is always so busy around the house then. I assumed that she was still working full-time along with you, but I guess that hasn't been the case for a while now.
She would really like to get back out there to work some more, but our girl tends to get sick rather easily, so she really requires a lot of May's attention, especially in the winter, and really is too much to ask of her to work full-time again just yet.
I can see that now. You also make a good point about how Cammy is always getting sick. She normally will have something like a cold when we all least expect it, right? May must be so worried about her all the time that it'd make it hard to ever want to go into work.
Right. We've really been trying our hardest to save as much money as we can, or at least not overspend. But these days even something like that is becoming impossible for us. We have just been giving it our all, but...
I understand how it's been rough recently for the two of you there. So, how much would you like me to send you this time?
Are you sure that's okay with you?
It's totally fine, Jordan. You are all having a hard time there, right? I'm more than happy to help out with that.
Well, I don't think it's only gonna be this time, Mom. I'd like for you to send us a little bit of money every month until things get better for us.
Well, how long do you think that might be?
Well, up until May is able to get back out there and work full-time again, I'd say. Unfortunately, I'm not really sure how long it'll be before she's able to get back to work. If I had to guess, I'd guess about 6 months we'll need your help.
All right then. Well, that's what I was thinking myself, so don't worry yourself. I never expected you to get everything turned around within a month or so.
I'm sure that things with Cammy will also become a lot easier as she grows older and stronger. But soon we're gonna have to start paying for more than just her food and clothes for her. I wonder how much longer this kind of life will have to last for May and I.
Having to raise a child really does take a lot of money to achieve. Well, when talking about how much to send to you, does $1,000 a month seem like enough?
That's more than enough. Thank you so much, Mom. But will you be alright sending that much every month? You're living with your retirement funds right now, so I don't want you to be using all that up. If anything, me as your son should be the one sending you money all the time at this point.
I also have the money your dad left me when he passed away, so I'm completely fine. I will have enough money to live on for another 15 years or so you really don't have to worry about my money.
I really hope I can pay you back someday. I know that Dad left behind a lot of money for you, but he shouldn't be the only person you have to rely on. But thankfully for us, we have someone like him to support us after all, even after he passed.
Your dad made sure to save up loads of money for his retirement, and for us when we ever needed it. Really, he worked so hard for the sake of his family. I want you to learn from what your dad did, and do the same thing to protect your family too. I'm sure May is worried about your guys' future as well right now.
Dad was such a great man, and even in death, he's still able to help me. Thank you again, Mom. I'll make sure to act right now with the help of May and get things turned around for us right away.
Right now may be a very tough time for you both, but over time, I promise things will get easier. Do your best, and you'll get over that speed bump in no time.
I really am so thankful for having you. And when it comes to sending us money every month, could you promise me that you'll never tell May anything about it? Right now, she's really upset about the fact that she's not able to work for us, and so she feels as though she's failing the family by not getting much money. Something like this would just break her heart. She would never let getting money from you down, even after we just got back on our feet.
Understood. I wouldn't want to stress her out any more than she already is about this, so I won't say a word about it. But if this is really something that she's worried about, you better make sure to take care of her and keep her as relaxed as possible.
I know that. It's because of me that a lot of this is even happening to us. So I'll make sure I keep an eye on her. Thank you again, Mom. Really. I promise that May and I will both never forget the help that you're giving us. Mom, I'm really sorry about this, but do you think you could start sending me a bit more for each month?
What's happened this time? Is $1,000 not enough for you anymore? I feel as though that amount should be enough with the wage you make. And also, right now, I'm not really sure I can raise the amount I can give you much more.
Well, this month there was a large amount of money that had to be paid off on my credit card. I've really been trying my best to save every penny I can, but it still hasn't been enough. So I was just wondering if you could really help us out here.
Did something happen to make this month's bill larger than normal?
Actually, I found out that May's been using my card behind my back. She's been using it to buy things like clothing and makeup.
She's doing that when the two of you are supposed to be saving every last penny? What the heck does she think she's doing?
I think it's due to the fact that we've been living a life saving every penny for the longest time now, so all that stress has really gotten to her. She's already been having some drama with some of the other moms in the neighborhood calling her names for not being able to spend time with them enough due to money. I think in the end, she just broke and accidentally bought a ton of things online.
Is that right? I didn't think things were that bad for her.
For a long time, she hasn't had any time to go out and shop for anything. I bet she really was trying her best to avoid shopping. When I went and asked her about what happened, she broke down and began to cry so badly. I wasn't gonna blame her for anything for it.
But it isn't the best thing to spend that much money right now. I'm not saying she has to save every single penny that you guys make, but right now she should know that all this work is for the family.
That's right, but I think she's learned from this, and the next time she begins to feel as though she's gonna break, she'll talk to me first. Anyways, due to this unfortunate event, I'm not sure if we'll have enough money to celebrate Cammie's birthday next month.
Now that you mention it, her birthday is coming up, huh?
That's right, but with the amount that we're gonna have to pay now on that credit card, I'm not sure we can buy her any presents.
That right there would be way too sad for that poor girl.
I know, but if I can pay this month's bill off the card, then I won't have anything left to spend. I don't want to ruin her birthday just because her parents made mistakes. Having to tell her that we're sorry, but we didn't get her any presents this year would kill me.
I can see that, Jordan. I won't be able to give you much more this month, but how does another $500 sound to you? That should be enough to get you somewhere, right?
Are you sure? That would help me out so much this time. With that extra amount, we might even be able to give her an amazing birthday party this year. Thank you so much, Mom.
She is my one and only grandchild, so I have to make sure she gets to enjoy her birthday. But you're going to have to talk to me about this, and make sure she knows not to ever spend your credit card ever again, no matter the amount of stress.
I will. I'm sorry that this has resulted in making you hand us over more money.
How's it going, Mom? Are you able to chat for a moment? I'm okay right now. Ah, that's right, May. I sent a present to your place for Cammie's birthday. Has it made it over there yet? It has, and that's the reason why I'm wanting to talk with you right now. Oh, is that right? You don't have to worry about thanking me or anything for that. I sent that present for her because I wanted to. From what I've seen so far, that present is a very nice looking gift for her. It probably cost you quite a bit of money as well to get that for her, right? Well, it may have, but I don't mind. How much did that present cost you? I'd have to say in total, $500 or so. I hear that you guys have been having to save a lot of money this year, which goes for Cammie as well. So I thought I'd treat her this time around. Is that a problem? Are you kidding me? You're telling me that you spent $500 on a present for Cammie? What the hell do you think you're doing spending that much? We are already having to send you money every month since you can't afford everything, so you don't dare waste it on our child. We're not giving up some of our earnings just for you to waste it on all toys. Huh? What are you talking about? I'm saying that this money you spent on the present for Cammie must have also come from the allowance we give you each month, right? I'm happy to hear that you'd spend that much on my daughter for her birthday, but think about how much you're spending when it's not even your money. What do you mean you're sending me money? What? I'm the one sending you guys money each month, right? What are you talking about? We are sending you over $1,000 each month to help you out, right?
Wait a second. I haven't received any kind of money from you guys. And I'm not lying when I say that I've been the one sending you guys money every month. I've already sent $1,000 in total for this month and last month. And come next month, I'll be sending you guys $1,500.
What the hell are you talking about? We haven't gotten a dime from you ever, Mom. We have been the ones sending you your allowance, right?
And I haven't received any money from either of you, okay? I've been the one sending the money each month. Huh? What is going on here?
We do not need any money from you, though. We are both working full-time jobs, so there really is no need for any money from outside the house.
But I heard from Jordan that he's not bringing in enough money for you and your daughter. And you yourself have been having to care for Cammy a lot more, so you can't work often, right? Actually, Jordan was telling me about how you used his credit card behind his back to buy a lot of clothing and makeup just the other month. That's why I assumed you guys would be struggling to pay that off. And that's why I bought that extra special present for Cammy.
I was the one spending large amounts on his card? Why would I ever need to do that? I'm a very frugal person, Mom. You know that. You're telling me that my husband has been coming to you saying his life here has been difficult and we aren't making enough money?
Yes, that's what Jordan has been telling me. That's why he had asked me to help you both out for a little while. He asked me to start sending him some money each month. You never knew about any of this? What the heck is all of this?
I never heard anything from him about us receiving any money from you. I was asked by him as well to give him some money, actually. He told me that you were having a tough time financially and that he wanted some money from me to send over to you every month.
Huh? He asked you to send money to him so he could send it to me?
Yes. I've been giving him money each month to send over to you. I know that as a fact. Even today I gave him some money to send to you.
You have to be lying, right? I've been sending money to his bank account as well this whole time.
In other words, he has been getting money from the both of us then, this whole time? If that's not the case, then something's up. Something is definitely up, since you and I have both been sending him money.
That's right. I bet that the money is being used up by him then.
If that's really the case, then he's going to get it from me. I've been working so hard to save up as much money as I can every month.
The fact that he's been hiding this from the both of us? What is he doing with all that money then? May, I'm so sorry that my son has caused this kind of trouble for you.
And I'm sorry as well for getting so upset with you before and not knowing a thing about this. Especially when you just sent my daughter an amazing present for her birthday. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it, May. Neither of us are to blame for this. The only one that's in the wrong here is my pain in the butt son. What the heck has he done with all that money? Why is he even doing something like this to us? I want to find out everything.
Huh? Are you going out somewhere today? I still haven't gotten the money I need from you this month to send to my mom yet. And when you get back home, can you have the money ready for me? I want to be able to get that in her account by tonight, alright?
I'm not giving you any more money. We are done sending her money.
What? What are you saying, May?
There was no reason for me to be giving you that money in the first place, so we are no longer going to be sending her any more money every month.
We already talked about how much trouble my mom has been in with money and all that, right? And when we finished the conversation, we both agreed we would help her, right? Are you trying to tell me that you've stopped caring about my mom? I never thought you were that kind of woman who would do that to my mom.
You think I'm the bad person here? You did a great job lying to me about all that crap you told me before.
Huh? Lying about what? I don't get what you're talking about right now.
That whole spiel about how your mom is having a tough time right now was a lie, right? You've been getting money from both your mom and I, right? And not only that, but you made me look bad in front of your mom? Tell me, when was it that I was using your credit card behind your back to go shopping for clothes, you freaking butthead?
What is this? Did you talk to my mom or something? I told you plenty of times before not to talk to my mom, right?
I went and talked to her because she sent us a great present for Cammy's birthday. She did that thinking we didn't have enough money to buy her a bunch of gifts. I was pissed because I've been sending her money through you for months now, thinking she was in a tough situation financially. Or so I thought. Well, that's when I learned that she was also sending you money to help support us. At first, I had no clue what she meant by that. What the hell have you been up to, you bastard?
No, wait, I'm sorry. I really needed some money, and I needed it so badly that I lied a little, you know?
What about all of that was just a little lie to you? What the hell have you been using that money for?
Hobby. Buying myself some new fishing gear and getting myself a motorcycle repair. There was also a few times that I've gone to the casino, I guess.
You lied to all your family so that you could get money to go out and do all that crap? You'd better stop it with the BS right now, Jordan. Do you have any idea what you've been doing to your whole family? What you have been doing to us is the same thing as scamming us.
Don't get so upset about it. I'll apologize to you for what I've been doing. I'm sorry for lying to you guys about the money I asked for, but I'll just make sure to get all that money I used back to you both.
You'll get it back to us? You really think I'm going to listen to a proven liar's words now? You've messed up this time. I'm taking Cammy with me and leaving the house.
That's a lie, right? You're really that upset with me?
If I wasn't as upset as I am now over what's happened, I might have needed to go to an insane asylum. I'll have the divorce paperwork ready for you here soon.
Whoa, calm down, alright? Is this really something you should be divorcing me over?
I have learned this time that you seem to think lying is alright to do, especially when it's to get other people in the family's money. I am not going to continue to call someone like you my husband. The fact that you're alright with lying to all of us might even mean you're alright cheating on me as well. I'm sure you have other things you've hidden from me, right?
I would never cheat on you. You're just making this bigger than it has to be, okay?
Well, no matter what you're really up to behind my back, I've already lost all my faith in you. I'll be out of this house by tomorrow, and I want all that money back that you took from me really soon. And since this divorce was all your fault, I'm going to get a settlement from you.
I don't have that kind of money on me right now.
Well, then figure something out, please. Maybe take all the things you bought with my money and sell it to get that money back. How does that sound to you? If that ends up not being enough, then go find yourself a loan shark and get the rest from them.
Stop saying so much crap to me, please.
Then how about you stop paying for your health insurance? Then you'll have more money to pay me with, right? It's not like the rest of us care if you get into an accident now, so you won't need the insurance covering you. So go ahead and cancel that, please.
Are you serious about wanting to divorce me? I think we should talk this over in person first.
You're never going to have a chance at that again. I'm already set on leaving you, so shut it. If you want to talk about anything else with me, it better be about the money you'll owe me.
Mom, help me. May is asking that we get a divorce. Well, not asking, but she's saying she's gonna do it already. I want for the two of us to discuss this all in person, but she won't ever listen to me.
I know, and I think it's a good thing that she wants to get Cammy and herself away from you.
But divorce is going way too far, right? Had I been cheating on her, I could understand, but I feel like she's overreacting a bit too much right now.
You have zero clue about what you've been doing.
No clue about what?
You stabbed her in the back by what you did, regardless whether it was cheating on her or not. And from what I've heard, you haven't even been bothering to take good care of your daughter either, right? It's all because of you only caring about your hobbies that things like this have gotten way out of hand. I'm glad she's going to throw you away.
But if she goes through with that divorce, then you'll no longer be able to see Cammy, right? She plans to take full custody of her in the divorce, and she told me she's gonna get a settlement from me as well.
Perfect. It's not like you can care for a child anyway, right? You only ever cared about fishing and crap like that, and never bothered with May or Cammy, right? You're not a husband, nor a father at this point, Jordan. All you've been is a freeloader.
Are you really upset with me too now?
You know for dang sure that I'm pissed off right now. And I'll have you know that all the money I gave to you better be coming back to me really soon. You are too old now for me to have to be teaching you not to lie, you delinquent. Are you not embarrassed for doing something a middle schooler would do?
I really am sorry about all this, Mom. Now, I'm learning from all of it right now.
Are you really sure you're learning from what we're doing? This was the first time in decades I've cried over something.
Why?
Because my almost 45-year-old son lied to everyone in his family, all so that he could have more money to buy himself things for his hobbies. You're like a 5-year-old. Do you want me to call a daycare and have them start shuttling you to their place again? I'm embarrassed to think that you're my son, and you have nothing to show for being that way. I really would like to know when you decided to go back to lying to others to get things you want.
Mom, calm down, please. I never meant to cause you any trouble by doing all that.
Then why did you do all of that? What were you thinking at the time that made you say, I'm going to lie to my wife, my baby, and my mom in order to get money from all of them for my hobby?
It was just a sudden urge.
Screw you. You are far too old now to be urged to do something that childish and wrong. This must mean you never aged into an adult properly, and I should have had you placed into an institution, right?
I really do feel bad for making you get all this upset. I'm so sorry, okay? I'm sorry for being such a useless son.
No, you're not. And even if you were sorry, you would not be enough to have us look past what you've done. And that's why I'm going to be helping May divorce you. And when that's over, you will not be hearing from me for a very long time.
You mean you're gonna pretty much disown me? You really want to do that to your own child?
I don't give a crap that you're my only child. At this point, I would have been better off never having you. I've lost all trust I had in you, so you are worthless to me now. My faith in you is a fat 0 now.
Wait, Mom.
And I'm not going to wait for you anymore. You are never coming back to this house ever again, you hear me? I'm going to try my very hardest to forget I ever had you as my child.
You're really just gonna throw me away at the hardest point in my life? I'm your son, Mom.
No, you're not. My son passed away a long time ago. All you are is a fraud who tries to freeload off others and his family.
Is everyone just gonna leave me to die now? I have no one to help me. I don't want to be alone at my age.
And this is all because you never cared about those around you. And that's why we're all leaving you and will never be coming back again. It may be too late to get us back, but I hope you'll learn from this and maybe turn into a half-decent human being. You may have gotten all the money you lied for to get, but in return, you lost all your family. After that, in order to get some money from his company, he left them and received a package. He then used all that money to pay both May and I back for all the money he stole from us, as well as to pay for some of the settlement that May asked for from him. And he did all of that without saying a single word to either of us. He looked like a pile of crap when he came into court to hear about the custody of Cammy, but I was not going to give in to that. May was able to get full custody of Cammy, and since then, he has never been allowed to see any of us. And since he has nobody around him anymore, he hasn't tried going back to work and is living life by borrowing money from many different establishments. Even when he does get himself a small job, it's only to get a small amount of money, and then he leaves that place to go back to staying under the radar. He's racked up a lot of debt and will soon have to start paying that back, which will require him to really live life without spending much at all. I think that he's never really going to be able to escape this new life he's given himself and will forever be in debt to someone. Recently, I have been getting a few calls from him where he'll cry asking me to take him back, but I just ignore them all. On the other hand, when it comes to May, she's been doing very well with Cammy. We are staying in touch with one another, and whenever she's too busy to watch over Cammy, she'll send her to my house for me to care for. I'm having lots of fun caring for Cammy, and I'm happy that May is still willing to rely on me for help. I will continue to help May whenever she may need it, all as a way of repaying her for the troubles my son has caused. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. And we look forward to seeing you at the next story.